Vladimir Putin's anti-Semitic position has not been hidden for a long time. After the start of Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine, the dictator stated that the West allegedly put an ethnic Jew at the head of Ukraine in order to cover up, quote, the anti-human essence of the Ukrainian state, end of quote. Russian propagandists and officials are close behind. They regularly mention Jews when talking about Ukraine.
There is a certain KGB tradition and Putin follows it. At the same time, he very clearly separates the business issue from the issue of everyday anti-Semitism. He actively grandstands. But in Russia there is now enough anti-Semitism. There are many manifestations. You can look at social networks, for example. This happens there all the time.
The sympathy on behalf of the Russian Federation for those who destroy the Jewish population in Israel is obvious. After the Hamas attack, representatives of the group gave an interview on one of the Russian propaganda channels. A Hamas representative admitted that Moscow helps and sympathizes with terrorists. Half an hour after the start of the invasion of Israel and the killing of civilians, the militants reported this to Russian representatives.
What do you think was Russia's reaction? Russia, according to these Hamas activists, reacted with great sympathy, considering that the interview was given on the Russia Today channel. This is a Kremlin news service. Accordingly, our conclusion is very simple. As always, Russia behaved like a real criminal. It is not for nothing that I call this the axis of evil. Russia, Iran, North Korea, the terrorist organization Hamas, Islamic Jihad and Hezbollah.
After the beginning of Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine, more than 20,000 Jews left the Federation. Then the country's Ministry of Justice filed a lawsuit to liquidate the Jewish Agency for Israel, which facilitated the repatriation of Jews from all over the world to Israel. The former chief rabbi of Moscow, Pinchas Goldschmidt, stated that the reason for his departure from Russia was pressure from the authorities who demanded that he support the invasion of Ukraine. Since then, the Kremlin policy has only intensified. The Russian Federation has still not even expressed condolences to Israel.
There was not a single word of sympathy. They expressed concern because they are exactly the same as Hamas. Because the pictures of this route from Kibbutz Reim, where dozens of shot cars were parked, burned corpses were lying near the road, completely reminded me of the picture of the Zhytomyr highway from February-March 2022, one-on-one. Sergei Auslander, Israeli journalist on Radio NV.
The entire civilized world comes out in support of Israel and Ukraine. United States President Joe Biden said assistance to these two countries was a priority today. During his visit to Israel, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that the main thing now in the Israeli conflict was to prevent a second and third front.
We stand with Israel in its determination to defend its people, defend its country. And in that determination, we are, of course, as you know, providing assistance as requested by Israel for its efforts. That will continue. The message that I bring to Israel is this. You may be strong enough on your own to defend yourself, but as long as America exists, you will never, ever have to. We will always be there by your side. Antony Blinken, United States Secretary of State.
The UK will also send assistance to Israel, the government reported. The state will send troops to the eastern Mediterranean, and British planes, ships and helicopters will monitor threats to stability in the region. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.